So, welcome to another episode of Factorio! Welcome to episode 33 at this moment. There was some problems with the voice, so this is narrated later on. So if you're wondering why it's out of sync, that's probably why. Oh, no, I didn't want to delete the footage for a reason I will tell you later. So what I first did is the iron field almost empty, and I should use I forgot to put an alt, and I should use those modules that gives us a little bit more iron ore from the patches. If you wish, by the way, to prefer alt on or off, you can say that in the description and leave me a comment, and I will look into that, because I like it to have it on. What we first want to do is connect iron ore to the rail system a little bit way to the new way. We should remove the roundabout first, and we temporarily should place a corner in here, because the corner is going to be the same size as a roundabout. So if we just for now use the corner to place in here, because I'm gonna use a four rail system, rail system. A weird watch, you know. Because it's going to have a little bit of solar panels and accumulators, like I think I thought before. But I was looking for robot ports, and now they are there. So I found some bugs, because they apparently look for stuff to do and then they wait for it, and then if they finally found something to do. So if there are too many tasks, they basically sometimes not do their tasks, which is a bit weird. But anyway, we need to redo a little bit of the rail system, because these are not designed to be 4 wide, the iron patches. I did some loop, I think. What's this? So the rail system is not designed to do to be 4 wide, and we need solar panels. To be exact, the 42 to 50 solar panels ratio. So I want to remove this. I have blueprints of that, and we're gonna make one with solar panels, so this is gonna be really nice. As you can see, between the two iron ones, left and right, in the middle one, which I'm removing right now, well, in a quick save, there was no. That's only one white, and we should use a system. We should use the blueprint system that's pretty bit wider. I really hate, and I turn it off later on, that the population in the map is visible. I don't know, the red stuff in the map is visible if you see in this map. I turned it off for the mini map, didn't for the main map, but will do that later. I reserved one space of water, and really looks nice. I'm pointing out right here, I still know that. I cleared a lot of trees, as you can see, and I did a bit of railway, and we need to remove that, because that's going to be all the new system, and we should grab the copper later on in another episode, maybe even this episode, for going into the rail sewer system too, because I don't like the copper patch in the middle. So I went ahead here and placed a lot of rail system, and I'm going to walk through the iron patch and show you how that's all done and how it looks like. I made blueprints of all these. They look a bit weird on the map, because I'm missing one solar panel to make that exact perfect ratio. Maybe gonna add that later on, and I should add rail crossings later on too. But we should blueprint. There's a T right here, and then you can split from 2 sides. And I was thinking about letting only the outer side go into the station, so the inner line would be preferred for faster trains. But we should blueprint this so we can use that later. And this is just a basic unloading loading station. We should I will use it, but I should modify it really much to the needs which I need. And it's also a few design flaws which I'm gonna fix later. That's the fun thing about narrating later on. You know what's going to happen, at least a tiny bit, but not too much. So we now should go to the rail crossing, because the rail crossing, I blueprinted it and I placed it somewhere else, because we have a safe rail crossing on the top, and we're gonna walk there first. But first we're gonna do is set up this trains a little bit different, because this one is waiting here for 3 minus, and this is not much. So I said to him that wait like 30 seconds on the first pickoff point, and then if inventory full, which is definitely not going to be there, and then go to the other mining patch, so it will fill up with the first one, which is almost empty, and then go to the second one. This is not ideal, but it works a bit, and we should just mine out more iron later on, but for now this is the fastest way to move a lot of iron to the main base. Still, in the bottom left corner, I'm crafting some speed modules by hand. They take a long time, but when you're building or blueprinting, you don't need that. So we're walking now to our main base, and the coal things, the coal patch is running low, and I really should use these things for the main base, and we're gonna probably use we're going to make a station right there. But first I want to take this out so I can get the right measurements for that. I made a little blueprints which are in here, and this one is the blueprint of the station. It really tickles me still, really, when narrating, and I know that everything went right, it still tickles me by removing this one. Oh, this is so worse to watch. While we're removing this one, I know I spent like, I think 2-3 hours on this to make it. I'm just removing it that easily. Watching it, it's just, oh. But where were we? I should keep to my notes. Oh yeah, the iron patch. Where is it? I made a copper patch. It doesn't really use it. There's only one miner left. So what I decided to do is use an inserter to take stuff out of a belt and put it into a chest. Later on I found out, that's really long when it was mined out, that you can actually just put the chest in front of the miner. Do this, guys. This is way faster, because what I did here was not so crude, and now it will be there forever. Because I know when it runs out, I found out that I did it a little bit wasteful, because the inserter is not needed and it's just wasting power right now. So we have still trains on the upper side, and they give a little bit of problem. I was thinking about leaving them there and then build around them. Not a good idea. No. Move them out of the area. I'm gonna do that soon. Right now, look. Next clip. I'm gonna move them out of the area, because that's the easiest way to do that. Just put them into manual, write them out, and then start building. As you can see, I made the T thing. I already placed that one, but it's in the middle is no solar panels and that kind of stuff, just because there's still copper ore, the copper mine in the middle, and that copper mine, it's coal, it's black. A coal mine is in the middle, and that coal mine, I still want to mine it out. I'm just adding that to the that's the fuel of the furnaces at the moment. So this is going to be the next station. It will be a little bit bigger, because I know that, because I need to add stone. And I originally intended to be only copper and iron, but I'm gonna add stone later on. Sorry. And also we should import coal. And now my inventory is filling up, which is not the best idea to do it this way. Also, I make a lot of more mistakes really soon with inventory, and this is not the way to do it, guys. Anyway, look, it's full. Get a lot of messages, it's full. Just walk into the base. That's the nice thing of having like 300 of those boats. Just look them going away. The inventory empty. Wow, it's just oh, those robots are really slow. It's just unthinkable that the robots come in that fast, having 300 of them, and they have a stack bonus of around, I think, was quick save. I really should. So also quick save, I should talk about that. Or what was I talking about? I don't know. Well, anyway, about the quick save. Quick save, I found out that you need to reboot the game before the quick save settings will change. And even then, I'm not so sure if they will even change. I'm using an goal problem. I'm using an SSD, dedicated SSD to the game. Nobody runs that. just to and get this saves a bit speed up. Was thinking about adding a PCI or M.2 disk, so the saves will be faster. But I don't want to waste $80 on this game to get a faster SSD, so my saves faster. That's not the right way to do it. I think I do have an idea of using RAM disk to make my disk look like it's going like, what would it be? 4 gigs? 8 gigs a second? Would be more than enough. Currently this game is saving like 250 MB per second. But anyway, let's talk about the game. As you can see, the red part of the screen, I turn it off later on in a few episodes, I think. One episode, next episode, I don't know. The trains are going pretty well, and I really like to watch them. It had a crazy loop, and then my inventory is filling up again. And I really should do this a bit more off camera, so let me pause it and just do this off camera. So here we are again. I fixed that issue. So what we should do now is I'll make another station below it. But I made a mistake. I made a miscalculation for the belts. So the rails should come in there, but it goes into a belt. So that's not really working as I want it to be. So we can delete this one, and if we just blueprint the station a bit, like that, and then place it below one. So I wanted to have 2 more stations, but it's not gonna fit, so one is going to fit. And I'm just building it right now. Looks good, but we don't have the green inserters anymore, so I'm going to grab them soon. But a little bit of the base need to be removed. I don't worry about it too much. We can build it like so that, but there are too many pipes, and I'm just removing the unnecessary pipes because I don't want unnecessary pipes to go along. And then we just make this one. We combine these two. Is that right? Yes, we combine these two for the left and the right. So it's taking one of the front wagon and then one of the back wagon. And I'm stuck at the stone chest, and I want to have walls, and the walls are empty, and we don't have stone, so that's going to give some problems. Doesn't matter. So we just fill this a bit up because I want to have the main base. I want to keep it a bit safe. But if there's ever going to be an attack by aliens, and I'm sure there will be, I'm sure, and they will break through, I'm sure about that too. No, it's not I didn't record that, but it did happen. They will not come into the main base, and we can start production of, for example, bullets, guns, and that kind of stuff, just to defend the aliens and make sure they won't catch it. So what I'm doing right now is to find a way we can have belts going below the tracks without looking it too weird. So I'm just doing the iron ore at first. I'm turning around the belts quite fast, and then the iron ore is now complete, done. I want to do the other one just for a synthetics looks, just for the looks of it. I want to do the other ones too, so they look a bit the same. I need to let this one come out a little bit further, because then it will would fit a little bit easier, and also look a bit better in my opinion then, because it looks good if you have things that just repetitive like this, is my opinion. Also for roads, I would like to go under roads, not only because that's useful, because I'm gonna do that really soon. Where is it? Here. I want to go under these roads because not only that's useful, because if you walk on it, you get slipped out and you get moved away. But it would just it's so much better. Also, this piece what you see right side where we were, that's one big mess with the storage system. I'm going to remove that soon, letting them run dry. But first what I'm going to do is rename the station for the stone one to yeah, I correctly named it to the stone one. Spoiler alert, it's going to be a few problems like coal coming in here. Because yeah, that's how it's going to be. Then this was not the problem because I renamed this one correctly. Then the other one would be the problem. Then I did not remember the other one correctly. That's good to know. That I did not make mistakes in the first place. But as I told you before, the green inserters were up, and for the green inserters we need, out of my head, let's see, yes, green circuits, red circuits, blue inserters, and those star thingies. I know them. Gears, the iron gears. That's the name of it. You should make. I'm automatically getting inserters and that kind of stuff by the logistic robots. It's really nice. I did 45 if you ever are wondering, because the logistic robots have stack bonus. So if you do 45, you're always getting less than a stack, but more than 45, and then it will not take up 2 slots in your inventory. And I'm now changing some values, so this chest will have a bigger storage. This is, by the way, a logistic chest, and they will put in stuff here just for me to grab them out. As you can see here, it's filling it up. I used weird numbers sometimes, like 303, because if you don't take 300 out, you have 3 left, and you can fill up the old spaces. So you need, like for example, then 305, or not, 1, 2, 305, I think. Yeah, should always end on 5. I don't know. Well, anyway, just to make sure I can stack that up, and it will look nice in the thing. But we make some green inserters, green stack inserters. They will insert stacks, and they will unload and load those really quickly, which is really nice. And we can see the first iron train using this system. But they already see a problem, because if there's 2 iron system and the iron trains, and they will wait behind each other, then it would block the copper and that kind of stuff from going in, which is a big concern. And only when the iron goes away, the iron ore, this train here, then the copper can go in, or the coal can go in, for example. And if we don't have coal, we don't get the other stuff. But it's not a big problem at the moment because we only have iron. I will expand that later. But we need to get those copper ores, some stone ores, because we don't have stone. But first, what did you do? Come on, go to this thing. Oh, there's more there. I should grab that later on. But there are some aliens there. I want to continue this way forward. Going to just suspect that doing that in a few later episodes. I also made a wall here that I wanted to show you off. By the way, was this video that I did off camera? I don't know. But I did soon. I will connect the stone supply, and I think I did it off camera. But first, I want to check you this wall. So we have a stone wall, 2 stone walls, an air layer, guns, turrets. And then we have repair station. This is version 1. There will be a version 2, which auto repairs everything. But now we're gonna look at version 1. I did not know that was going to be version 2, so that's why I went all out with version 1. But version 1 had some problems. For example, it only restores repair packs. You can, by the way, see the speed of the train, and I'm wondering how fast you can go with the train. And apparently it's somewhere around in the neighborhood of 260 kilometers an hour. That's quite fast. I don't know how many miles per hour it is, because I don't live in an area we have miles. We don't have feet. We don't. That's round. Sounds really. I do have 2 feet, but I don't know what a feet would be. What measure? I think same as feet, that length. But you can see here the wall pretty clearly. I have 2 stone walls. Then the area. No, not that far. Just go back a bit, so we don't get into the aliens. They're already coming, so let's just turn that on. So what this system will do is it will go to the station and then unload the repair packs into the storage chest, and then the storage chest can be used by the logistic robots. I made a version 2 later on, which also resupplies the logistic robots, walls and turrets. In case anything that breaks, it will just fix itself. But for now, this wall will do, and it's way better than the design before, where they just plump down some random turrets everywhere. But for now, I want to end this episode and thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you another time. Goodbye.